Hello everyone. Thanks for joining this GeoPits webinar. My name is Adnan. I am from the business team of GeoPits. Welcome to our fourth webinar of 2024. We thank you for taking your time to join us and listen to what we have for you today. Before we dive into today's webinar, I just want to briefly introduce GeoPits and what we do. So GeoPits, we act as a DBA partner for companies. We help companies to monitor and improve the performance of the database. We are Microsoft Silver partner in the database platform. And recently, we are also partner with MongoDB on the database platform as well. So any form of database, be it be MySQL, MS SQL, Postgres, MongoDB, be it on cloud or on-prem, we help you with all the service-related aspect of database, from performance tuning to managing the entire database. Our engineers will be there 24/7 around the clock to help you with your database needs. So these are few of our expertise and certifications. So in case if you have any requirements on the database side, you can always reach out to GeoBits. So our webinar for today is titled Seamless Data Migration Leveraging OpenDB Connectivity to Transition from MS SQL to PostgreSQL. We have Vikram, who will be taking this webinar. Just to introduce Vikram briefly. So Vikram is our data engineer in GeoBits. He has done several DB engineering projects and has a quite good experience as well. I wish all the very best to Vikram for today's webinar. Over to Vikram.
Hi everyone. I'll be sharing my screen. Yeah. Okay, my name is Vikram Joshi and I'm a data engineer at GeoBits. Today we'll be having a webinar on the topic seamless data migration, leveraging ODBC to transition from MS SQL to PostgreSQL. So let's begin with the abstract. In this webinar, we'll explore the essential step and consideration involved in migrating data from MS SQL database to Postgres, a powerful open source relational database management system. We'll delve into the advantages of PostgreSQL and its suitability for various use cases. Additionally, we'll provide a comprehensive guide on utilizing ODBC, which stands for Open Database Connectivity Drivers, to facilitate the smooth transfer of data between MS SQL and Postgres environment. Whether you are looking to optimize cost, enhance performance, or embrace the flexibility of open source solutions, this webinar will equip you with the knowledge and practical insights necessary to execute successful data migration process. Join us to learn how to leverage ODBC drivers effectively and ensure a seamless transition to PostgreSQL. Okay, before we begin our webinar, I would like to highlight some of the difference between Postgres and MS SQL Server. As you know that Postgres is an open source, meaning its source code can be freely available and can be modified by us. But on the others hand, MS SQL is a proprietary software requiring license, which can significantly impact the total cost of ownership. Like in MS SQL, there are many editions which we can buy, like developer or enterprise. For enterprise, there will be some cost to it. Yeah. And next is the cost effectiveness. As Postgres is open source nature, it often result in a lower total cost of ownership, as there won't be requiring any license fee, and it provides more flexibility in the development. But in MS SQL, due to licensing cost and deploying for large scale deployment, it will require more cost for each feature to be added. And yeah, and Postgres often leads in terms of advanced features such as like support for complex data types such as arrays, JSON, and GIS, which stands for Geographical Information System. Yeah, and for MS SQL, like it also has the same thing like ACID properties, transaction and store procedure. And to talk about the platform independence, PostgreSQL is highly portable and can run on various operating systems, including Linux, Windows, MS SQL, MS Mac OS, Unix-like system. But MS SQL is primarily designed for Windows environment, although there are versions available for Linux and Mac OS. Like for Linux, I think there is we can use SQL CMD to run MS SQL on the Linux environment. Yeah. In the summary, Postgres is a open source nation uh, as it can be used low. We can edit the code and for cost effectiveness, there is no any license cost. And for the advanced feature, it involves some arrays and GIS. And it has a strong community support, scalability, and flexibility, making it a compiling choice for many organizations compared to MS SQL. However, the choice ultimately depends on specific requirements, budget consideration, and existing infrastructures. Yeah. Let's talk about ODBC driver. ODBC, as it stands for Open Database Connectivity, is a standard interface for accessing a database management system, DBMS. The ODBC driver acts as a bridge between the application and the database, allowing the application to communicate with and manipulate the data stored in the database. In the context of migrating data from MS SQL to Postgres, the ODBC driver for Postgres facilitates the transfer of data between the two systems, enabling users to utilize familiar tool and application for the migration process. Like for different databases, there is we can find many different drivers. Like for Postgres, Oracle, or MySQL, they have their own drivers which we can install and which will help to communicate and with a smooth transition. And this is the ODBC architecture. Here, there's an application. Application uses an API to interact with the ODBC driver. APIs are like the set of functions and data structure provided by the ODBC driver manager. Then after the SQL statement are sent to the driver manager, it is responsible for determining which driver to load based on the data source name. After loading it, sends a call function to the ODBC driver. ODBC driver then it translates the ODBC function calls into native API calls that is supported by the DBMS. And ODBC drivers are typically provided by database vendors or by third-party vendors. In this webinar, I'll be doing a demo by installing a driver for PostgreSQL, where I'll be showing you about the Postgres driver. Then after that, it sends the SQL request to the data source. The data source contains all the information such as the driver name, server address, database name, and authentication credential. After everything is done, it returns back the result back to the application. That is how the ODBC works. And these are the components, 4 components of ODBC application driver manager, driver data source, which I just explained here. And let's say how does an ODBC driver work? ODBC driver works by implementing the ODBC API. API, which I told, like it is a set of functions and data structures which allows application to communicate with various databases like Postgres, MS SQL, MySQL, Oracle, etc. And when an application sends the request to the ODBC driver, the driver translates it into the format using the native APIs so that the specific database can understand it. The driver then communicates with the database, retrieves the result, and return back it to the application side. Then we will head to why do we need an ODBC driver? Yeah. We need a ODBC driver to connect our application to the specific database management system. Using an ODBC driver, you can abstract the underlying database technology and connect to multiple databases at once. In ODBC driver, you can configure more than like multiple databases on the ODBC driver, so that you can communicate with more database effectively. This simplifies the development process as you don't need to write a separate code for each database system you want to support. Yeah. Yeah. Now let's head to the demo session. I'll be doing a demo for the migration. Yeah. For that, let's install ODBC here. Yeah. We can go to the Microsoft website and download it. Yeah. As my system supports 64-bit, I can install the ODBC driver 18 for x64. We can install it. After that is installed, we can also install the driver for Postgres from its official site. Yeah, from here we can install the driver. You can go to downloads, file browser, ODBC, and the version, and lastly MSI. From here we can download any version that is supported for the Postgres. It starts from version 7 to version 16. As I have version 16, I'll be downloading for 16. You can download the zip file. Then after downloading, you can install. As I've already installed both of the things, so I will not be downloading it again. Okay, I'll show you the ODBC driver. Yeah. As I've installed the Postgres driver, then it will be seen over. It can be seen over here. Yeah, this is the driver for PostgreSQL, which I can register to the ODBC. For registering, you can just go to the user DNS and click on add, and choose the driver which you want to add. For now, I'll be adding Postgres Unicode. Then hit enter. Then for that, I can provide any data source name and the database server and username of the Postgres, which I'll show you by opening PCadmin. Yeah. I will go to the properties and take for the name, like my Postgres name is Postgres 16. Yeah, data source name I can give any, and for database I'll be choosing a MusicDB database, and the server I'll be providing the name of localhost. The username will be Postgres, and the password which you can provide. After providing every connection string, you can just test whether the connection is getting connected or not. Yeah, for me it is connected. After the connection is tested, you can just save the string. Then it is successfully added to the ODBC. After it is added, you can just open your MS SQL and export the data as SMS. Yeah. This is my database. As most of us are familiar with Adventure Oats, so I'll be using the Adventure Oats database. And these are the tables inside of Adventure Oats. For today, I'll be migrating the data for the table contact type. For migrating, first I need to go to the database name, right click on it and go to tasks menu, then export data. Then next. And the source will be MS SQL, so I'll be changing it to the Microsoft OLE DB provider for SQL Server. This will be for the source. Here the server name is UPS. I'll be using Windows authentication. And for database, I'll be using Adventure Oaks 2019 as a database. Then I'll hit next. And for the destination, I'll be using ODBC. And for connection string, I'll be providing DSN name as I've created in ODBC. This will be the DSN name. And I can just type in. Yeah. And for the driver, I'll be using Postgres driver. Yeah. Then next. Yeah. I can copy the data using by selecting tables or by just writing the query on my own. For now, I'll be just selecting the tables. Next. Then I can select the table which I want to migrate. For now, I'll be migrating for contact type. So I'll be clicking on contact type. I can also edit the mapping like the data types or anything I want to edit. For editing, I can go to edit SQL and edit any of the structure or data type I want to edit. And for MS SQL, the data type for modified date would be date. It has automatically converted the data type to timestamp, which is supported for PostgreSQL. After it is done, I can click on OK. And I can also preview the data which will be migrated. There are like 20 rows of data which will be migrated. Yeah, after that is done, I can click on next, next, and I'll be running it immediately since, yeah, then I can click on finish. The migration has been completed. Now I can go to Postgres and check for the tables. Right now there are 3 tables. I'll be refreshing and yeah, contact type has been migrated successfully. I can query it and check whether the data are available or not. Yeah. Yeah, the data has been successfully migrated to the Postgres site. This is one way of creating the table, or else I can just go into Postgres and create a table on my own. After creating the table, I can go to the MS SQL and again migrate it using the same step. I'll be showing you for the say for the contact type again by creating on my own. I'll delete it for once again. And I can just generate a script from it. Yeah. Yeah, I've created a table manually for now. Yeah. Now I'll again perform the migration. Data source will be SQL. Yeah. Here I can choose the contact type which I've already created in the Postgres site. Yeah. Then I can hit next. Yeah, it has been migrated. Now again, I can check into the table. Yeah, this also migrated. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is how we can migrate the data from MS SQL to Postgres using a ODBC driver. That will be all for the seminar. Yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you, Vikram, for providing a comprehensive overview of utilizing open database connectivity drivers for smooth transfer of data between my MS SQL and PostgreSQL environment. Now we are at the end of this webinar. We will be having a quick Q&A session. If anyone has queries or any questions in regards to today's webinar, feel free to ask.
Thanks, Vikram. Thanks. It's a nice session and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. This is Chandrasekhar. I have a question like, do we see, is there any chances that Microsoft SQL servers are getting migrated to PostgreSQL as it is providing the open platform?
Yeah, like using ODBC, you can like transfer small databases. For bigger databases, like we need to use SSIS packages to migrate the big databases for into Postgres.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Right. So we'd like to end up the today's session. Thank you everyone for joining, and always keep a lookout for more upcoming webinar in the future as well. We'll be posting the highlight on YouTube of the current session on our YouTube channel. And also follow us on the LinkedIn so that you will be updated on the new webinars that will be coming up in the future. Thank you everyone and have a great rest of the day.
Hi, Shik. Would you mind sharing the links for both LinkedIn and YouTube?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you everyone and have a great day.